It's your boy Kapeash,
This is John K.
and this is
The
Downpour. We back at it, man. We back at it.
We brought some Fireball.
We got some Fireball, so it's the ritual. Episode 8. What do we got to do? We got to cheers first. Here we go.
Oh, yeah, it's time for a downpour, Chris. The first one of October.
Yes, that's true.
It's not our Halloween episode quite yet, but we're almost
Yes,
there.
yes. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Oh, man. Can't go wrong with Fireball.
I love Fireball. Love Fireball. Shout out to Vince. He gave me that Fireball for my birthday. Shout out, Vince.
Yeah.
I still got the bottle.
That was a sick party.
If you guys missed my birthday party, you guys missed out on a hell of a good time, right? Now,
So what did we do last week, Chris?
last week. So let's get right to it. So last week, me and John K, we had a book show here, 7:30 Wednesday. And we decided to cancel the show because our boy, ThatMexicanOT, had a show, sold out show in Santa Ana at Observatory.
Yep.
So we're like, all right, let's roll that show, check in with the homie, you know what I'm saying, and see what's good. Shout out to all the Texas people out there. Shout out Drody on the right, ThatMexicanOT, his whole camp.
Bitcoin Baron.
Yeah, everybody we met backstage. So, you know what? We decided to go. We pulled up on him. John, on the way there, I'm texting everybody. I called Drody, no answer.
Yeah, we
up
were like, are we
Nate
going to
Dogg.
get in, or they forgot our wristbands? Or?
Yeah. So we did kind of stumble into a few things because, we had no access back there. I was like, you know what? Like, nobody's answering. Backstage at Observatory, there's really no reception, especially when you're up in the green room or whatever. So we ended up just walking up to the venue, and we did see Nate Dogg getting in. It was a bootleg Kev or somebody. He was getting somebody in from another podcast.
It was both of them.
I think it was like bootleg Kev and Dope as Yola, Thomas from Dope as Usual podcast. So then he's, I was like, hey, Kapeash, you got your credentials? I said, no, not yet. We just pulled up, just, Kapeash +1, and then he said, okay. And I said, John K and Kapeash.
Yeah. His dad basically invited us.
Yeah.
So, but he was backstage, or he wasn't there yet.
He wasn't even there yet.
Yeah,
Chuck was like a surprise guest because he wasn't supposed to be there or something. I don't know what happened, but he ended up popping in anyway, flying out there. So we pulled up, got backstage, and shout out Fee Banks. That's Fee Banks on the left. He's used to DJ for Lil Wayne, fun fact, way back in the day. Now he manages a lot of big artists and stuff. Shout out Fee Banks. Good dude right there. So that's Hidden Hills. They gave him a little, care package right there backstage. And that's all full of, all kinds of stuff. T-shirts, hats, clothes.
All the merch.
All the merch. Yeah, all the exclusive merch. That's actually like a collaboration drop that's not even dropped yet. So he got it early. So, yeah, you see back there, everybody's doing dabs. And they had a lot of podcasters back there, a couple famous people back there. It was a good look.
Unlimited Modelos in the back.
Yes. And the unlimited Modelos in the back. Shout out Zay Keys, producer, engineer. He makes a lot of hot beats right there on the right. Drody, then ThatMexicanOT. We got Nate Dogg. We got John K. And then we got Thomas. That's Dope as Usual podcast. Shout out to Thomas. Super cool dude. And that was at Hidden Hills. They were blessed, they blessed us with the invite.
Super humble guys.
Super humble guys. They got a little factory out there in OC.
There's Chuck.
There's Chuck, and there's Bootleg Kev. Shout out Bootleg Kev. He tried the pizza from our restaurant, which was a good look. He has his own spot called What Up Dough. But yeah, Observatory, ThatMexicanOT. The fun fact about that was we actually met OT the exact time, the exact date, at the same exact location, exactly a year before.
Yep.
Exact day. And I know that because I met another dude backstage that has a clothing brand called Lost Hills, and I was texting him, and I looked at the date and the time, and it was like exact time and date in the same location.
The stars realigned.
Yeah, it was bizarre. It was a trip. So within that year, we've flown out to Texas and met up with him. He's came out here. He's been to the restaurant we're running. He picked me up in the tour bus one time. We went there. Just became homies. Virgil, that's his real name. He's just became a real humble, cool dude. And became the homie, and then always invited me out to Texas and Bay City or Houston where he's at right now, and to go out there. So we definitely got to go out there after tour.
That was
Definitely gonna,
sick.
yeah, we're gonna definitely have to go out there. It was a
Mhm.
super good look, major event, and yeah, that's him cheesing with the pizza, man, and
Yeah, I made that pizza. It was it
yeah, that
was
was
so
bomb.
sick.
He always just likes the cheese. He likes the boneless. We might even do a meal, exclusive meal, the OT special. He just likes the cheese pizza and boneless buffalo wings. That's
Oh,
what he
he was
loves.
stoked, bro.
Yeah, and I was like 3 in the morning too. So we went there, whipped up some pies real quick, brought him back to Hidden Hills. That was a major look.
Mhm.
Shout out Nate Dawg for getting us in. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? And Zay Keys too. We blessed him with a pizza cookie. So he owes us album and 50 hours of free studio session, as
He's
well as a
coming on the
single
podcast.
feature. He owes us Young Thug and a Snoop Dogg feature, as well as video production and and all
Yeah, we
that.
also met their booking manager,
Right.
Jerry
Shout
Reed.
out. Shout out the
Shout out
booking.
Jerry
Yeah,
Reed.
the booking manager. We
Yep, he's
appreciate
probably
you.
coming on the podcast soon, hopefully.
Yes, yes. That
He
was
said he has a lot of guests for us.
yeah, yep. We're gonna start lining up guests, that'll be a good look, dude. Super good look. You know what I mean? So we just out here grinding. We're working on our own music too now. We got production. Shout out Zay Keys, because definitely gonna utilize our connects wisely. You know what I
Oh
mean? That's
yeah.
one thing we're always talking about it. And now we gotta start being about it. Anybody that we meet, we gotta follow up. You know what I mean? We're just like, okay, we hang out with them one time, and then it's like a year later, like the guy from
Yeah.
Lost Hills. It's been 1 year since I've seen him, and we haven't even done nothing. No networking, nothing, no
We got
merch,
we
no.
got some videos too.
Yeah, we do got some
Let's
videos too. If you want to play a
start
couple
with
videos,
slide
well,
number 2.
yeah, we'll start with
Play
number
that
2. So this is us backstage, just pulling up.
at the observatory.
Yeah, that's backstage observatory. OT's about to go on stage, and then my boy got security now too. Yeah, he's getting big, man. He's getting security. About to go on stage right there. Peso was in the building too. So that was a good
That
look.
was
But
pretty sick.
yeah, it was a good look. So
We
went
got some
there.
more clips here.
What else? There was another clip too. Yeah, yeah, that's right. When,
We
Come
brought
on,
the
that's Nate
pizza.
Dogg. Hold on, that's Nate
uh,
Dogg. Okay. Yeah, what is? Yeah,
that's
that's
dope.
Nate Dogg's hard. Whose is this? Hold up. We got napkins in here. Oh, watch out, the wings about to fall.
We brought 2 cheese just for OT.
All right, man.
Major.
Yeah, Lost Hills.
I said Lost Hills. It's Hidden Hills. That was my bad.
Okay, straw hat special
Hey, Hidden Hills spot.
to my boy.
Oh, straw hat
Come
pizza. I
on,
heard
come
straw.
on, man. Straw hat.
Oh,
Okay,
fuck.
okay.
Dude, he was
Cheese.
loving it.
Yes.
He was
He
cheesing
said
for that
cheese.
Kevin McAllister special.
The Home Alone special.
That looks
That
like
was dope.
McAllister.
That
That
was
was a
dope.
good
Good
look.
times, man. That was super dope. I didn't realize how, like Thomas is a super cool dude, has
Oh,
his
yeah.
own podcast called A Dope as Usual podcast with another dude. And he has his own clothing brand called Push Trees, and like all the Zoomies around the country and all that.
Mhm.
And he's a cool dude. You know what I mean? He's interviewed OT and a couple homies, and that's how I knew about him, through OT. And now he's just exploding, dude. So the sky's the limit with all these guys.
Yeah.
Bootleg Kev, shout out Bootleg Kev. You know what I mean? For trying the pizza that we be rocking with. You know what I mean? So that was a good look too. So we're just out here grinding, man, making moves.
Yeah, this morning we were like, "Who's our next guest?" And we
Yeah.
had Chris call,
Uh,
Dre, and
yeah,
he
yeah.
invited us back to the Hidden Hills tomorrow.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we're going there for a video shoot.
Yeah. Tomorrow's gonna be a major look. We got something. Yeah, we got a few things under wraps. You know what I mean? Video shoot with an artist we can't disclose because it's
Mm.
exclusive, but that is coming up
Mhm.
next. Stay tuned with that. You know what I mean? So Hidden Hills, we appreciate y'all for the invite. The humble welcome back.
We got a
So
third clip here. Let's
we do
watch
have a
this
third clip. What's that? What's that, John? What's the third clip?
They see what's going on, man.
Oh yeah,
Shout out to Downpour.
yeah.
Santa Ana, California. Shout out. We got all the big dogs.
This is when he beat me up. No.
Yeah, we had to call security shortly after this. We got OT beating up on John. So yeah, now he has security. He's beating up on motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was a blast. Though,
That was
backstage.
good. That was definitely a good time.
Mhm.
Shout out OT, the whole camp, Skels, Fee Banks, Chuck, Nate Dogg, OT. All them that were on this tour. super major look. We appreciate y'all for real, and everybody that we met
They
backstage
wanted
too.
to take us to Vegas, but
They did. And they said to hop on the bus, go to Vegas. We got work the next day. So that I think that day I worked like 6-7 days that week. So I was like, you know what, I'm chilling. But next time, yes, we will definitely go to Vegas with you guys. They said to pull up to Texas, top of the year after tour. So once that tour drops, then we can go pull up on 'em. Texas, super dope. Houston, shout out H Town too, super dope. You know what I mean? H Town cracking. So yeah, we'll get some shows out there and go politic, go network, and do all that. So
tomorrow will be
yeah,
sick.
yeah.
We
Tomorrow,
gotta find some Halloween parties too. So
yeah. So it
Halloween's
is.
here. It's here this month.
Yes, it is the 9th, and what we don't even know what we're going to be for Halloween. I can't be Freddy Krueger again because it's been like 3 years straight.
Every
Leatherface,
year.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That was 2-3 years ago. What else? I haven't been Jason before, but that's just too
I was
like,
Pennywise for like 3 years.
Yeah, he
straight.
was Pennywise for 3 years. So no Freddy Krueger, no Pennywise, no Leatherface, no mobster. I was a mobster for like 2 years straight. So we have to get a new costume, all like a brand new costume. I don't know if you guys have any ideas for costumes. Let us know in the comments below. But right now I have no costume yet, and we have a big party to go to on Halloween, Thursday the 31st. Big huge party.
We also have to
So-
get a guest for our Halloween episode.
Ooh,
We were thinking of Andrew Bernarski again.
we were.
In a year.
It's been a year since our very first episode, and we did had Andrew Bernarski, Leatherface. Shout out Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre on our very first episode. We appreciate you. So we were thinking more like either like the guy that did Chucky, or even Robert England would be huge. Get Freddy Krueger, but definitely Chucky. I heard the guy that plays him lives out here in LA, so definitely want to see if we could get him on the show. That'd be huge before our Halloween episode. So that's one of our
Great
goals.
voice for podcasting too.
Yes, indeed. So that would be huge. So yeah, we're gonna figure it out. Definitely gonna figure it out. So, but yeah, I can't wait. It's my favorite time of the year. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be a good time, and I'm off that day, off the next day, hopefully, but off on Thursday. So everybody's trying to take the day off.
There's a
It's
lot of
not happening.
birthdays this month too.
There is a lot of birthdays. Snoop has a birthday.
Snoop, your grandma.
My grandma's 90th is right now as we speak. We're celebrating on the
Annie
weekend.
from work.
Yep.
Emily.
Emily.
like so many
Yep.
people.
Yeah, there's a lot of it's
Heather.
Libra season. It is Libra season. Snoop's is the 20th. I know Snoop's gonna do something major. Every year does something major, probably the compound. So hit up SAG and holla at the homie Snoop, Uncle Snoop Dogg, you know what I mean? See what's popping. But yeah, dude, we have a lot of stuff in the works, coming soon. And we're just working at it like right away. Like we find a connect or something, we gotta chop it up with them and then go to the studio that week. We can't wait anymore. You know what I mean? Like just have my birthday and it's just like it's time to make moves now. Like no more waiting. That's all we've been doing.
Lots
is
of new
waiting.
music coming too.
Yes, lots of new music. Lots of mixtapes coming out too. 2 mixtapes at least, new music, and then production. Any producers that are watching the video too that want to, be with the team with Downpour Podcast, let us know. Send us an email with some of your beats. You know what I mean? That would be huge. We need club banger singles. Oh, shout out to the Big Shots too.
Oh yeah.
And we got a studio now in Signal Hill. Shout out Big Shots, producers, engineers that bless us with their studio and their gracious time. We appreciate you guys for real. They showed up to the 40.
Zero at Big Shot Studio.
Yeah, Zero and Tommy. We appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? So definitely going to get back in the studio this week. We did some stuff on my birthday, but definitely going to get some more stuff this week too. So yeah. So it'll be like an episode music. So it's just like get back in the the rhythm.
No more waiting for guests. We're just doing episodes.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
all up to me and Chris now.
Yeah. We're
And
all we got.
Solomon's
We're all we
Solomon's
got.
our guy behind the curtain that we need.
Yeah, no, that's that was one of our topics that we wanted to talk about today because, like, we've had certain guests that like artists. We've had hip hop artists that were supposed to hop on the podcast, and then we would lock in an episode, and then all of a sudden they don't show up or something pops up, and we have all these questions to ask this artist, but then they don't show up. So
Hey,
then me and John are just
we're a minute late.
We are a minute
We're a
late
minute
from the
late for
downpour.
another downpour,
We
so-
are. Yep, you got the bottle?
Yep, I do.
All right,
Right here.
pour them shots. But yeah, like I said, we are all we got. We have to only depend on ourselves. We can't, if artists don't show up, guests don't show up, the show must go on.
The show must go on.
The only reason we canceled last week was because OT was in town and overlapped. And then this week, we didn't have to cancel because my grandma's birthday is actually celebrated on the weekend. She's at the casino all day. So we lucked out both weeks. So here we are. So yeah, man,
Dude,
we're all
need
we
to
got.
go back to the casino.
Yeah, casino was fun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Grace wants to go too.
Which one? Morongo?
Django or Morongo?
Morongo's cool.
Morongo.
Tachanga, Morongo. Let's do this.
Oh, here you go.
All right, downpour. All right, here we go.
It's time for a downpour.
All right, guys. This is our usual 15
Downpour
minute.
number 2.
Yep,
Cheers.
downpour. Cheers, guys.
Can't do it without Solomon. Shout out Podcast Place, the sweet
Mhm.
host of the Podcast Place.
Ah. Shout out the podcast place for sure, Solomon. Man, Fireball is the best. Better iced.
It's funny. I used
But-
to work in this exact room 15 years ago
That's a trip.
before it became the Podcast Place.
Really?
That is
It
a
used to
trip.
be a Verizon call center, and I was a supervisor there.
You were a telemarketer.
No
well,
kidding.
I was the supervisor
hacker.
of the telemarketing people that were in here.
Oh well.
There was like rows of, it looked like a LAN party center, like
Mhm.
all the computers in rows, the headsets, and we were all taking calls. And I
Cold
was
calls.
the supervisor, so they'd have a problem, and I'd have to go, all right, this is how it is. Sorry, they can't help you. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
You got pretty big bonuses for those sales.
I can't remember when you did that. Were you still in Lakewood?
Mhm.
Yeah, you were in Lakewood. Yeah. I remember that. I do remember that. Yep. Good stuff. Small world.
yeah.
So speaking of the world, what is going on with that hurricane, man?
Oh,
Today was it? It's today at 8 or tomorrow at 8? I think it's today at 8, right?
Today's the 9th.
Huh?
Today 8? You mean the 9th or what?
Today at 8 p.m. It's supposed to go through Florida.
Hurricane Milton.
Mhm.
Oh.
So is it man-made or is it a natural phenomenon? Because they said
John.
that it's exceeding the limits that there we go.
Yeah.
It's exceeding
Is
the
it,
limits that the
John?
Earth could create.
Did they make up this hurricane? Did they
I
make
mean,
it from?
you can see the Doppler radar, the beams coming in and steering it in to Florida.
the beams. Where are these beams coming
And
from?
are they
John?
key battleground states for the Republicans? I can't say.
John.
Is it a conspiracy?
Well-
Is it not?
I do have family. I got my cousin. She's in Florida. She's okay. She's more toward the beach, and then my sister texted her, so she said she's okay. I talked to Flesh and Bone
Yeah.
because he's in Florida now, and Flesh, thank God, he's okay too. He's about an hour, I think, south
Did they
from
did they
where
have
the
to
hurricanes.
evacuate yet? Or
I don't think so. No, they didn't have to evacuate, but a lot of people that they said to evacuate are just chilling at their house, like they're not leaving. Like, oh no, I'm not going anywhere. It's like, well, dude, this is like the biggest hurricane in history.
I did see the videos though of the FEMA people, turning down the civilian people trying to help, which
Dude.
was kind of ridiculous, especially when they said they ran out of money for aid.
That's
I don't know if you heard about that, Solomon.
That's messed
I
up.
haven't heard that. No.
Yeah, they said they ran out of aid money, but yet they sent, they needed $7 billion in damages.
Well, they said the governor too was not letting all the the prisoners out. They're just gonna leave everybody in prison as the hurricane flies over,
Yeah.
leave them there. But it's like, dude, they're gonna be like in 20 feet of water. Like, gotta evacuate everybody. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, they
that-
said
some
it'll
of
be over $7 billion in damages, and they don't have funding for it. But that day they'd sent $8 billion more to Israel.
that doesn't make any
So
sense.
it's like,
look at that hurricane.
Man,
This
that's
is
crazy.
insane. So, God bless everybody in Florida.
Yeah, I mean,
right now,
I
for real.
really pray for them. I hope they all
Mhm.
make it out. I hope it doesn't do as much damage as it looks like it's going to.
Yeah, no, that is extremely. That does not look good at all. Looks pretty scary.
But they said that it's basically exceeding the maximum that Earth could produce, basically.
Well,
They
yeah.
were even considering making it a Category 6.
Well, yeah, they said they showed the
What?
categories. Yeah,
It's
they showed the
literally
categories
half
all
the
the way.
size of the Golf.
Yeah, it showed from 1 to 5. There's like
Mhm.
a little, thing that they had, and it was like by the time it got to even like 3 or 4, the shingles of the house is like flying off. And by the time it got to 5, it's like the roof is gone, and
Oh
then
yeah,
6, the
they
whole
said
thing
about
is gone.
15 feet of water or something like that.
Yeah, there's no way I would have been running.
I saw a
to the
video.
hills.
I saw a video. It was like this family. They were in like 7 feet of water, like chest deep, and they're like swimming in the living room. They're like, I think it's time to leave now. I'm like,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah,
it was time to
no.
leave at like 1 foot of water. Like, why are
Yeah.
you still? They're still in the living room. It was like the whole family was there, and it's like the water was going
Yeah,
up to the door
nah.
line. I'm like, bro, no, you
Yeah.
got to get out before that.
Yeah, just take your valuables and throw them in the car.
Yeah.
Go to higher land, or just you got like a 12-hour gap to where like, all right, I'm gonna survive. I'm gonna leave. Like, I would just be gone. Why
Yeah.
even wait? Why risk it?
And there's a couple nuclear plants, and I was looking it up a few days ago. There's a couple nuclear plants on the eastern side of Florida that I hope don't get affected by it, because that could be
And what if
potentially
catastrophic? Huh?
yeah, pretty
If it
bad.
hits a nuke plant,
Well, it'll take the power out, and then they can't get
Oh.
the pumps for the reactor working, so it'll cause even if they cold shut down, it could cause a
Dude.
meltdown. So
oh
hopefully,
my! I just thought of something. What if there's like a dude? He just picked up a nuke and just boom.
I mean,
Just
they're
landed
built
somewhere
to withstand
in
this stuff,
somewhere.
but still.
Oh my gosh, this could be a disaster.
Yeah.
I mean, it already is going to be a disaster, but yeah, no,
Yeah,
they need to.
a lot of people lost their homes. It
Yeah,
sucks.
that's a bad look, man. And it seems like Florida's always getting hurricanes. It seems like they're always getting some storms or.
Well, the East Coast.
Look at Houston. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this. Record history. 175.
Yeah.
Are you serious? 175 miles an hour? That's insane. There is no way. This is record breaking.
Wow.
I would be running for the hills.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're talking about how it actually became so big or so fast.
Yeah, the hot
Oh.
water all got sucked up into it, basically.
Oh,
and,
wow.
yeah.
Wow.
It's not good.
Wow, that's a bad look. Yep.
Prayers for
Prayers for
Florida.
them. Prayers for them. That leads to other things too. People are stressed out, mental health too. You know what I mean? Like, that's going to be screwing up a lot of people too, because they're worried about their homes. Like, here we're like, oh, we're worried about our job. We are spoiled. We don't get too many tornadoes or tropical storms, or
Yeah,
we
get
are
our
due for an earthquake.
earthquakes. Yeah, we get our
We are due
earthquakes.
for an earthquake.
Oh man.
I didn't, it's the big one's coming, so we did have one not that long ago.
The 9.0 will hit right when the polls open. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
Dude,
You're gonna make me play the song again.
Oh man, it's coming. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
so that
October
is a conspiracy
surprise.
in
We're all
itself.
waiting for it.
that is a conspiracy in itself. So when are we gonna get that big one? If we
I
do,
mean,
if
Hopefully
when,
not, but
God willing, we don't. But it's scary to think that, like, I'm on the top floor. I have to run down the flight. I
Yeah.
wouldn't have a chance to get downstairs. And I had to jump out the window. Like, this is scary. This is super scary.
what else do you have on your list?
Oh, hold on. Before I go get off this Hurricane Milton, you hear about the guy that got his 70,000 from Aiden Ross? He's like, oh, Aiden Ross is doing a challenge. If you stay like at your house during the hurricane, I'm gonna give you 70,000. You didn't see that guy?
my
And he
God.
did it live. He's live, and he's for 70,000. And Supreme Patty put it on his Instagram. But it's a dude that's live in the storm with a tent, and he's in the hurricane, and he's just
Dude,
sticking it out,
no.
and he's staying in the hurricane, like tied up to like his tent to like a tree, and he's staying there until the eye of the storm goes over him, and then the storm is out of the way.
So it just hit land, right? Like tonight, or
I
when did
want to
hit
say it was
land?
8 o'clock. I thought it was going to be tomorrow, but it could be 8 o'clock today. So by
Yeah.
the time you're watching this, the hurricane's probably long overdue, but it's definitely going over. Yeah, within the next 12 hours for sure, 100%.
Oh, man.
And but that guy's out there by
Nah, he
himself
needs to
for
get out.
70,000. Is that worth your life? Like, that
No.
is not
It
worth.
said it was 175 mile an hour
Yeah, no.
sustained winds.
He,
That means the gusts are well over 200 miles an hour. So
Ew.
that'll send a piece of straw straight through.
Yeah,
a
Ain't
tree.
Ross lives out that way too. He has a mansion out there in Florida too. A lot of people live out in Florida. That's dude, Disneyland was destroyed too. Some of Disneyland out there.
Or Disney World or
not
land?
Disneyland. Disney World is
Oh,
starting to get
man.
like a little flooded and all that. So scary times. We're living in some scary times, dude. But like I said, the next thing I was talking about was mental health too. It was men's mental health month last month. We didn't even get to talk about that, because a lot of people, you don't know what anybody's going through unless you're chopping it up with them. Everybody's going through something. I saw a billboard that said everybody's going through something. Literally, it's true. Not
Yeah.
everybody. Oh, he could be a billionaire on a yacht. Think he's happy? Oh, maybe somebody passed in his family, or he's going through something, or
Money
so-
doesn't buy happiness.
No,
you
it
know?
does not. It does not buy happiness. That's a true fact, dude. Got to be happy with what God gave you. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, yeah, man, we just got to chop it up and check in with people too. Check in with people. Some people are alone or don't have a lot of friends. Like, check in, text, call, holler at them. What up,
Yeah,
man? How you been?
always got to make sure,
Yeah.
if someone's too quiet, you figure out if they're
Mental
what
health.
they're going through,
Yeah, dude, because, and I say that too, is because my good friend Jasmine, you met Jasmine,
Yeah.
so super cool. Her mom recently passed away, and I asked her what happened. She was so nice and happy, and what the hell,
Yeah.
like what? And sure enough, it was mental health. She committed suicide, which is
Oh, man.
horrible. You know what I mean? I'm like shocked. Like, what? So God bless her. God bless her family. And you never know. Like I said, you never know when somebody's going through something, because she smiles on the outside, but on the inside, she was, going through something. So just chop it up. Check in with people.
Yep.
Hug your loved ones. Check in with people often. Don't wait a year to text somebody. You know what I mean? Don't wait a year to text Lost Hills back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we gotta tap in with people. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just life, man. That's just with
It's
anything.
like my uncle Scott,
Yeah,
coolest
Scott.
guy
Look
ever.
at Scott.
My
Look
uncle
at
Chuck
Scott.
passed,
Chuck, dude.
suicide.
Dude,
Yeah, it's,
Chuck, there it is again. Men's mental health,
Mhm.
women's mental health, dude. That's a prime example, dude. Scott was the coolest dude. His
Mhm.
uncle was super cool, told us all kinds of crazy stories back in the day. He did prison time and all that, but super cool guy. Like he smoke, chill, like he was a super chill
Mhm.
uncle. And then like they moved away to Elsinore. I almost said Victorville, Elsinore. And then they were out there for a few years.
Yeah.
And then like again, he got
Just
depressed.
got depressed, was
Yep.
drinking, and
Mhm,
that
mhm.
was it.
And that was it. Yeah. So it's tough, man. It's really tough. You could be that one phone call that can change somebody's life.
Mhm.
Literally. Look at the singer. Was it Bon Jovi? Right?
Yeah.
Somebody was gonna jump off the bridge, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
There were and
How to Save a Life or whatever.
and they were right there. They happened to be right
Bon
there.
Jovi saved his life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like, dude, little things like that, bro. It's just like, man. So
Robin Williams.
yeah,
I mean,
look
all
at-
these.
oh
guys,
my god,
man.
now we're going to a whole nother
It's
yeah,
just-
dude. Robin Williams, like epic actor, had everything, $30 million estate, like been in the biggest movies of
Money
all
doesn't
time.
buy happiness. It
Yeah.
just
And then I
shows-
guess supposedly his last show that he was on, he had a sitcom on a regular TV station. It wasn't a movie, it was like a sitcom, one series, or did a couple pilots in an episode. It bombed. I guess it bombed and had like crappy ratings. I don't know. I didn't see it. I never saw it. But then and he killed himself. It's just like,
Man.
dude, like how is this guy from Linkin Park? The lead singer of
Chester
Linkin Park.
Bennington.
Chester.
No.
What is going on? Like
the
what
best
is
music
yeah.
ever?
So it like one thing leads to another thing. Like how is
They
that
said he
possible?
was part of MK Ultra when he was a kid.
Death, and
Yeah.
then they
There's
said
a
like,
conspiracy about it. It's
oh, we
always a
hit that button. The conspiracy button. Hold on.
Wait, hold
was
on.
Chester's death? Was that
It was definitely part of a
Did he do that?
conspiracy.
the Robin Williams death? Was that Robin Williams? Was that real too?
It
Chester's real?
Chester. Oh,
I don't
Kurt
know.
Cobain.
Okay, now that's a whole. Now we're going getting deep. We're getting deep into this, dude. Well, when I did hear some of the stories of the shotgun blast, I was as a kid at 16 years old. I think it was 16. No, I was only 84, so I was 12 when that happened in
I
'96.
remember.
So I thought it was Courtney Love. I was like, dude, it's Courtney Love. There's no way. They said something about the shotgun blast, how it happened, where like there's no way he could have been holding it or something. I don't know. I have no
Yeah.
idea, but that was another thing. Like, dude, what? Like, the suicide note wasn't his writing. I don't know. There was a lot of conspiracies with that, with Kurt Cobain, but that's another one. It's like, did he really do that? Did he?
So speaking of male suicide, P. Diddy didn't kill himself because we want the list. Unlike Epstein, we want the list. We need the list. P. Diddy didn't kill himself.
Dude, yeah. So yeah, that's a whole nother thing too.
But it's like back when Epstein, the first Epstein thing broke. Of course, he kills himself, and as a distraction, they arrest R. Kelly, which you never get any names through that.
No.
Now we have the whole, the Biden administration had 330,000 missing migrant children since he took office. Not a word about that, and now they're arresting Diddy as a distraction. Where are the lists? We want the Epstein list. We want the Diddy list. Like these are distractions from larger issues where there's children involved.
Yeah.
So
I saw some on TikTok too. They were taking children in from an airport into like a bus.
Yeah.
The guy asked him, "Where are you taking the children?" He's like, "I don't know."
It's ridiculous that you have to wait years for trial in the country.
Yeah.
Like within these years, all these billionaires and multi-millionaires who Diddy knows that are on the list and everything, they're definitely going to have a hit out on him. They don't want any of that information out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Diddy didn't kill himself. It's just, man, like, I mean, I remember when Epstein got, killed or whatever, killed himself, the power went out in the city and, all this stuff happened. And then literally you can look up the articles.
Yeah.
It was like something out of Gotham, like Batman, like the power went out in the city and then all the cameras were off. And then when it all came back on, Epstein killed himself. It's like, dude, this is unreal. Like I can't wait to see what happens when the whole Diddy thing plays out, because it's going to be unreal. But keep in mind, they're distracting everybody from the 330,000 missing kids at the border since Biden took office.
Wow, we need that music one more time. Hold on.
I mean, that's not a conspiracy. That's that was actual news that was swept under the rug that wasn't really reported on. But it's just there's bigger issues, and then they arrest some star to take your mind off the bigger issue.
Yeah, there's some false flags. There is some big time distractions. I do believe that. And for a bigger
I'm not saying
picture,
Diddy wasn't bad, but come on, there's bigger fish to fry that you're trying to distract you from.
Well, I find it weird how supposedly this has been going on for 30 years, but then like, all right, he beat up Cassie, and that was hush money. They didn't, nobody knew about that for 8 years or whatever in the hotel hallway, the lobby or whatever in the top suite. And then now all of a sudden one kid says he's got raped by Diddy. Okay. And then now there's 3,200 cases out of nowhere. So it's kind of like, why didn't everybody else say anything?
I mean, and the whole Justin Bieber thing, they're saying, Justin Bieber, he was raped by Diddy, all this stuff. How about we arrest Justin Bieber's parents too? Because they were the ones letting him go with Diddy at 13, 14 years old. I mean, it's just ridiculous. All these parents need to go to jail
they're
too.
Trying to name all these big
all the parents of the kids who are giving their kids to these stars for money need to go to prison too.
Yeah, it's really bizarre to even think of this is happening. You know what I mean? Like they're showing videos from way back, and when even Leonardo DiCaprio was a kid.
The videos are so creepy.
And then they asked Diddy like 5 years ago, "Oh, who's your number one person on your guest list for all these parties?" He said Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm like, well, that's fucking wild. What the fuck? Like,
and how old was he?
I mean, the younger years, I don't know. Like I said, I don't even known him for years. So I don't know. And then the Biggie video. There's a part in the new.
When he sang that song.
Yeah, he said the video. They're like, see, everything's all been in your face this whole time, but you haven't seen it. The signs have been there. The tagging's been on the wall, but you haven't seen it. It's like, what? The writing has been right there, and you have not seen it. So I like I said, I look at Diddy as a mogul, hip hop, like he was doing it huge for so long and put so many artists on. And now, all of a sudden, boom, he had He had something to do with Biggie's death. He had something to do with Pac's death. He had something to do with this and that. And then the child, abductions and all this stuff, racketeering and all this
Mhm.
crazy shit. I'm like, oh, I thought he was just making moves. Like, nah, like, so
Mm.
once you hit $1 billion and you hit millions and you have everything you want in the world, I mean, I couldn't even imagine him doing any of that. He was with J-Lo. He was with
What's her
Cassie.
name? You seen
He's with
that
the
Jaguar?
baddest bitches in the world, but then you trying to do with, so
What's her name? Jaguar, right? Saying that like she's coming out with all these videos saying that Jay-Z's behind all the Diddy stuff, and she's the
I
one who put Diddy on. And
Man, they have more stories than Dr. Seuss. You know what I
they
mean? I
do.
have no idea what's going on, bro. They
Yeah.
could say some, Michael Jackson had sex with Michael Bolton.
But I
Like,
mean-
I don't
I
even
mean,
know what is going on anymore.
How
Like,
many
what?
bottles of baby oil do you really need?
Well,
though?
that was kind of weird. That was very weird.
then-
and Shout 50,
And those guys
Yeah.
were saying that it wasn't baby oil in there. It was some kind of thing that drugs people or
Oh,
something
wow.
like that. Yeah.
Now, what I don't get too is say, they raided his LA house. Okay. He already knew that they were coming for him.
Mm.
So if he knew that they were coming for him, they're going to raid all his other homes in New York and Miami and all this stuff. Why wouldn't he just take everything out if he was guilty?
Because he knew they were watching him.
So
I think he thought he was
so-
above the law, bro. I mean,
Yeah,
when you're
you're
doing
right,
all that and
too.
you have 7
and then
mansions
his
full of-
son comes out with a song saying, "Oh yeah, we have a secret tunnel underneath our house. We've been, doing this, doing that, we're gonna take him to the tunnel." I'm like, well, that's not really a good thing to say at a moment like this.
I mean,
Like,
do you know how much help you need to move 1,000 bottles of baby oil and
still, though,
700
like,
and something
still,
dildos out of the house?
I mean,
I mean,
but
bro.
I don't know. Like,
That's like
if he is
truckloads,
guilty,
bro.
why would you? If you knew people were coming after you, why are you leaving everything out? You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, I don't know. Like I said, this is all bizarre to me. It's a trip.
Oh, baby oil and dildos aren't illegal.
No, they're
That's true.
not.
And
That's
then-
true.
Yeah, and dildos, and I mean, man, to have that is it's bizarre. Bizarre. Now nobody's buying Ciroc. Nobody's buying. It's like it's wild. All his businesses. Oh, and another weird thing is his businesses weren't under his name. Did you know that? A lot of his homes aren't under his name. It's under his mom's name, under his son's name, under a relative's name. None of his business is under his name, which is weird. So I don't know. I don't even know if that's true.
I mean,
but
it
that
could all
was
not
like,
be true.
I don't know about.
It could
any-
all
this is
literally.
all
R. Kelly
bizarre
and
to me.
Diddy could be totally innocent, but
Mhm.
I know that those migrant kids at the border aren't innocent that went missing. I
That's
know
true.
that all the people that Epstein harmed aren't fake.
Yeah.
But they make up these stories or put these other people in the tabloids to take our mind off the real issues.
Yeah, no, it's a trip, man. It's
And then they
definitely-
wait years and years for a trial. And then, all of a sudden Epstein killed himself. All of a sudden,
And you know what's
Diddy,
weird about all that too is like the Menendez brothers too. Now at 34 years later,
Mhm.
Kim Kardashian's doing a post, free the brothers, free the brothers.
Oh my
They slaughtered
God.
their mom and dad.
No, don't
They
free
could
the
free the
brothers.
brothers, but hold on. Their first trial, they're talking about they got raped by their dad. They got raped, this and that and all this stuff. So, but they said all the rape allegations, all the sexual stuff was eliminated in part 2. They're like, oh, well, just because they raped you, okay, you're gonna fucking bloodbath and shotgun your mom to the face, like that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, you
So
gotta turn them in.
yeah,
so
you
they
can
go to
turn them
prison.
in. You can, that. But then they're trying to say like, oh, we thought they were gonna kill us. They had a boat trip, and then they thought, oh, on the boat trip they're gonna like get murked out. Like, oh, let's. Whoever seen that show? That show was insane. It was intense. It's on Netflix, #1 show in America right now. It's called Monsters. Shout out Sarah, by the way. She got a little role on there. Shout out Sarah. Our friend Sarah got a little. She's an actress. She's been acting for years. Well deserved role. She got on the pilot. They're in there looking for shotguns, and then she has a
Mhm.
couple lines in the in San Diego. They bought a couple shotguns, and then so the story is. I know the guys were really mad, I guess, at the story because not all of it was true. But then when I watched their side of the story, a lot of it was like spot on. I didn't even
Yeah.
catch anything that the show wasn't like. It wasn't saying anything fabricated. It was like spot on. So I don't know what they were talking about. We watched the news show with the guys in their own words. It was the same thing as watching the show all over again. I was like, we're watching it all over again. I already
Yeah.
know all these facts. So I don't think, life in prison. I mean, yeah, maybe 30, 40 years. Yeah. But supposedly got raped. Why didn't they say anything to anybody? Supposedly when they were young, they said something to people, but they just lost it and just went in there and shot their parents. It was like
Yeah.
and then OJ got off right before. I remember watching OJ live coming down the 91 freeway. He's coming down the 605. Then he hit the 91 East, and I was 10, maybe 11 years old, 95, 94. I was running up to the hill. My parents were like, oh my God, and the helicopters were coming.
Mhm.
The freeway was blocked off, and we went up to the hill, Gridley Hill, right there in Artesia, and we looked down at the freeway, and sure enough, you see, like, we got there perfect timing. I'm looking down. I'm trying to get it. Like,
Mhm.
everybody's like huddling on the hill. We look down at the hill, and we look on the freeway, and boom, you see the Bronco turn the corner by itself. And then all of a sudden, there's like a fleet of like maybe 10 cop cars,
Mhm.
and then the helicopters, like 5 helicopters, and like hundreds of people watching from the freeway. And it was a historical moment. It was like it was the other guy driving, and then OJ was in the back seat, like underneath a blanket or something. And I was like, oh my God, I saw OJ. Like, just like watching that live. And then the trial was like a year and a half long.
Yeah,
Like,
the
it was just
longest trial
in
ever.
history. Yeah. And it was just like, wow, like he's going to go to jail for murking out his wife, like he did it, and he got off. And then Menendez brothers, their trial was right after. So then they're like, oh, well, since he got off and the guy before him got off, we can't let these guys get off. They're going to be like, LA is like corrupt, like F this, you know what I mean? So they had to fucking get those guys, So maybe they could have done 10, 20 years, if that was proven fact that, they got raped by their dad and their mom didn't do a damn thing, then they could have got 10 to 20 years, but they got life without parole. That's pretty wild, that is pretty wild. If they can prove that they, they felt threatened or whatever, and they could have, because they thought like, stories like, oh, they're gonna kill us now, they're gonna kill us right now. Oh my God, let's kill them before they kill us. It's type of
Just
weird.
sad.
It is sad.
Those
It is a
stories are so
sad,
sad.
sad deal for the parents and for them, and it's torture. It's horrible, and he was a mogul too for RCA Records, or I believe, or some type of big business. So. Yeah, it's pretty wild, man. It's a wild, twisted. There's a lot of crazy stories that are just like outrageously insane. You know what I mean? So, but that story, and then there's the Dahmers, and then there's the Manson. But the Dahmer one was pretty wild too. Like that
Yeah.
guy, he got away for 13 years, I think.
Mhm.
And then the lady, the neighbor starts smelling some kind of a weird smell. And then do you see the Dahmer
Yeah,
show?
his neighbor, he was giving the neighbors sandwiches for a couple years.
Dude, the
Every
worst.
day,
That is
offering them a sandwich.
Dude, yeah. So, and then there was a kid that
And the
escaped.
lady even said, like, that was a great sandwich. Like, she wanted more the next day, bro.
Oh, it's like brains.
Yeah, it was like,
Ugh. Fun fact: do not get sandwiches from strangers.
yeah.
I was like, dude, like stranger danger. No, but yeah, the Dahmer show was pretty good too. Netflix has a lot of really good shows out. I'm not gonna lie, like
It
that.
does.
Speaking of Netflix, we are ready to be casted, so we do want our own show.
Or they could
So if
pick
you
up the
guys are-
podcast, or
Pick up the podcast, Spotify, and then Netflix. We do want a reality show with the restaurant we work at, and then whatever we do, we're in the studio, we're doing music, we're backstage with artists, we're on a video shoot, or we're video movie premieres. I was watching Salt last night, and I remember I was on that premiere of that movie, and that was the first time I met Angelina Jolie. Oh, we're overdue on our shot.
a little overdue.
A little overdue, but we're good. So the first time I met Angelina Jolie was at the Salt premiere, and I snuck on set, or snuck onto the red carpet. Goddess, she is the hottest girl I've ever seen in my life. Who's the hottest girl you've ever seen in your life?
I don't know.
What about you, Solomon? What's the hottest girl you've ever seen in your life? Like, not the hottest girl you think they're like on TV, but you've seen with like in person.
Oh, in person?
Yes.
Oh, that's
Probably
hard.
some girl at like the gas station.
I know that's hard to
honestly.
say. I mean, you
I've
said
seen
celebrity. I don't know, man. I don't.
Yeah.
Some unknown at the
Mine
gas
is-
station.
is-
That was,
I have footage somewhere of her signing my Taking Lives DVD. She is breathtaking. Angelina Jolie, like 13 years ago, she was like 34. She is she's 49 now, still immaculate. But like
Yeah.
when I saw her, Angelina Jolie, she was the hottest girl I've ever seen in my life. Like literally, like I was just like, Oh my god, like she was just like I was like starstruck. I'm not even ever starstruck anymore. And I saw her and I was like, wow, she is immaculate. Like,
He just started laughing like Beavis and Butthead.
I was, I was like, oh my god, I could not believe it. I was like, she is the guy. And then out of a million people, I just like took out the cover of Taking Lives, you know, and then she signed it for me, and I'm like, oh my god, this is the best, like the best, you know. And she's like kind of shorter and skinny, like than when you see her on.
And he wouldn't put it down for like a whole
I did
week.
not.
He's
I
like,
did not.
He's
I
like
still
tucking
sleep.
it into bed.
I
with him
do
at
still
that
sleep
night.
with that DVD. Don't worry. Yeah, no, but my sister met her, got a photo with her. My sister got exclusive VIP treatment. She went to the premiere of Beowulf, and
That movie was sick. I
she
love
met
that movie.
everybody. Brad Pitt. She met Angelina Jolie. She met Anthony Hopkins. She met like all these big wigs. My mom won.
Was
some
Anthony
tickets.
Hopkins was Beowulf?
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah, that movie was so.
Yes.
sick.
So my mom, it was like Kiss FM. She hops in the car. She's going to work, and they're like, "Oh, Beowulf premiere ticket. Angelina Jolie. Meet Angelina
man.
Jolie." My mom calls the radio station and was like, "Hey, you know, like hopefully I could, you know, get through." She gets through, and they're like, "Oh, you're the winner. Beowulf premiere tickets, VIP. Walk the red carpet." So my sister got her like Angelina Jolie book signed, got a photo of Angelina Jolie, met everybody, saw the movie 3 weeks before the public even is exposed to the movie and even knows about the movie.
Yeah, I
Like,
went and saw it like twice.
it
or 3
was
times.
major. And then she told me about the movie and where it was at. It was like Burbank. They had like a VIP premiere. And then she's like, just come out this way. Like, we don't have any extra tickets, obviously, but just come out this way. So I think me and my cousin went all the way out there to see Beowulf. And then for some weird reason, we went to like the mezzanine where like we're just like, all right, let's try to sneak in. Some dude had like 8 free tickets randomly, and we grabbed them. Like he just grabbed one, he grabbed one,
man.
and they had 8 random free tickets, and we got right in. Went to the premiere and saw it. And it was dope, you know.
Dude.
So shout out my mom for winning those tickets. That was once in a lifetime. That was her idol. Like my sister's idol is Angelina Jolie. My idol is like meeting Eminem. I've met everybody in the industry except for Dr. Dre and Eminem. Literally, I've been close to them, but I've never met Eminem or Dr.
We
Dre.
will meet.
I've
them, Chris.
never met them. And fun
Don't
fact
worry,
too,
we will.
almost before I forget this too. Fun fact is Sloan was in my studio in Costa Mesa, and he told me, "Hey, I'm going to Detroit with Crooked Eye." I'm like, "Oh, no way!" And I just jokingly was like, "Oh man, like you should go to the studio with Eminem, you know?" And then
Eminem.
2 weeks later, Sloan 5,000 likes. Sloan has a photo of him, Eminem, and Crooked Eye in the studio.
Oh my god, bro.
I'm like, Sloan. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? And he's like, yeah. We're talking about McDonald's and we're talking about what we order and Big Macs and with onions, no onions with onions. I'm like, bro, are you serious? I go, how was it like chilling with Eminem? And he was like, just like us chilling with Lazy Bone. It's the same thing. Just like Lazy Bone. He's just humble like Lazy Bone. Just chop it up like a regular person. I'm like, dude, that is like that's my icon. Eminem, if you're watching this, we would love to have you on the podcast. We'll fly out to Detroit, do some exclusive Downpour podcast shit, dude. And I told Sloan he wants a pair of shoes. If he wants a pair of shoes, he's inviting us on the flight to Detroit with him at Crooked Eye. And we're going straight to Eminem studio. He said he only had one bodyguard. He said it was like 4 steps just to get in the studio with M. So it was like the big old studio. Then you go downstairs. Then there's a bodyguard. Then it's searched. Then another downstairs. And then it's the camera guy. And then you're in through a door. And then there's one more door. It's like 4 security checkpoints just to see Eminem. And Eminem's in the studio by himself, just chilling. Like, bro, like what? So
Yeah.
definitely want to have that conversation with Sloan on our podcast. He's going to tell us more detail about that. We'll get to that maybe
Yeah.
on the next one. But just to chill with the GOAT, like one of the biggest rappers of all time. Like that's huge, dude. When he
Yeah.
posted that photo, it looked like Photoshop. People were like, nah, that's not real. Like, no way. And they're like, he's with
No,
Crooked
it
Eye.
was real.
Crooked Eye called him. Like, that's Crooked Eye's artist. That's not Photoshop. Like, people were like hating at first. I'm like, no. He told me he's going there. But it was just funny because he was in my studio 2 weeks later. And now he's, 2 weeks later, my boy's in the studio with the biggest artist in the world. Like, that's just how, like, dude, it's a small world, dude. It's a small world. So, we're about to get on, man. So stay tuned. We got another shot. We got 9 more minutes of the episode, but it's going by quick. We have another shot. This is the final downpour right here.
Episode 8.
Episode 8.
Cheers
Yes.
to episode 8.
Episode 8.
That was good.
Yeah, Yeah, it was good. But it's just
What's your favorite Eminem song?
man, there's so many. I like Infinite.
Infinite's good.
I mean, that was one of his first ones, but lyrically, Infinite, nobody could beat that. Nobody could beat that album, but let alone that song.
What's
Infinite.
that one? 3 a.m. It's
3
3 a.m. in the morning.
I like
You know,
yeah. There's a lot of I don't know. Eminem is just so iconic. There's so many songs, so many albums. Real Slim Shady is my favorite album.
Rap God was, yeah,
Rap God was
that's
dope.
the Rap God right there.
Rap God is definitely dope. But yeah, I definitely one thing we missed this year that I completely spaced on, which was bizarre because I don't really space on a lot of important things, especially I write them down, was
Mhm.
Dr. Dre's Star. We missed that, and that was like the biggest West Coast thing ever. Besides Kendrick Lamar bringing everybody
yeah,
out.
the Kendrick thing.
The Kendrick thing was huge. I was still there, but the Star thing was huge because, like, Snoop and Dre and Quick and Eminem and Exhibit, and shout out Exhibit for signing with Greenback
Conor
Records.
McGregor.
Conor McGregor. We did I had an updated conversation with Flesh and Bone and
Mhm.
gave him props on that new Conor McGregor sign. That was a big look. It's a major look. I asked him how that happened. He said that he's been hollering at Connor for a minute now. This is like 5 years in the works. They've been tapping in with him, and he started the record label. One of the
Mhm.
best UFC fighters. Lightweight, heavyweight. No, he's light heavyweight. I'm not sure what he is. What is he?
I'm not sure.
Maybe heavyweight champion, but he's insane. Own. He has his own whiskey out. Now he's starting his own record label. He has his clothing.
Mhm.
Conor McGregor's on top of the world, but for him to sign Bone Thugs and now Exhibit, he's just having the roster. His catalog's going to be huge. So that's a good look too. You know what I mean? I know they're going to do something major. They got a big show coming up, Bone Thugs, next month on the 2nd with a bunch of Mexican artists, Chino Pacas and who's the other guy? Some other guy, I forgot his name, but Sexy Red's going to be there. Bone Thug's going to be there. Little Baby's going to be there. So it's in San Bernardino. Definitely going to tap in with that show. So just shows, networking. We just like we're at work and we're plotting like, what are we going to do? What is the next move? What is the next move from us to like be at our 9 to 5 to where we're like, all right, we have enough money that we don't need our 9 to 5. Like we have
Yep.
sponsors, like they'll sponsor the show. We have tequila sponsors. We have Fireball could send us a check. You know what I'm saying? Like anything that can help us do the show, and then we could do 2 shows a week, 1 show a week. Studio 1 week, and then or every week we'll have a
Music
studio
podcast.
music podcast, and then just do stuff like that and have like a flow. So it's a constant thing. So every Monday at 7 we're in the studio, and every Wednesday at a certain time we're in, like have a certain regimen where it's like it's normal, like it's just going to be a flow. So we're not like, oh, I'm scrambling around this doing that. No, we got to get back to the grind. Like
Yep.
when we lived together, when he lived at my house, he's leaving on the floor. Like we were literally doing music.
Every moment. Yeah.
Like he stayed at my house probably like 4 or 5 months, and we did music like every day. We knocked out like at least 2-3 mixtapes. That's when Pizza Boy Fresh came along. And dude, we got to get back to that grind where we were just nonstop making hits, nonstop. Rejects came over, like we had Ness come over, like Extendo Gang come over, like Cat Daddy Fools, like they were doing big things. Like Kid Cudi's artist pulled up, like we were doing big things. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I moved back to LA, closer to everybody, and then don't do any music. What's
Yeah.
going on? It's like I'm closer to the music guys. We're not doing anything. I moved far out to OC. They're at my house every day. It doesn't make sense.
I know.
Okay, I'll just move an hour away and we'll just do music every day. But I move 5 minutes from you. We don't do any music. Like what? So we got to like get back to the grind, get set times. We have a lot of time in the day. It's just like, as people get older, we have bills and shit to do. And back then we didn't really have like my rent was only like $500. I think I paid
Yeah.
$450 for the first like 6 years. In the last 2 years, I paid like $500 a month. So I wish my rent was still $500 a month.
We were both like
These
unemployed
shoes-
at one point, like
Yeah.
searching for jobs.
Yeah, dude, these shoes are $500. You know what I mean? So it's like, like that was like rent money. Like, yeah, there was a time where I moved out there in Costa Mesa, and then I lost my job. Remember, I lost both jobs. I had Victoria's Secret, and then I worked for Swatch. I was selling watches, and I lost both jobs the first week I moved out there. Remember that?
Yes.
And I'm like, oh my God, I don't even have enough money for next month's rent. I had to get a job within 3 weeks. If not, I was screwed.
It was crazy.
And me and John went to South Coast Plaza. We went all over the place, and I had pizza experience from working at a restaurant prior. So then I said, shit, let's try this Domino's out real quick, and I got there, and
You got a Domino's.
I'd never forget it. I got there, and the guy's like, he moves these boxes out of the way, and he comes through. He's like, we're not hiring. And I was just like, oh man, I go to walk out. And all of a sudden, this Asian guy, Kozo, which became a good friend of mine, Kozo was like, oh, you have any experience? I said, yeah, I worked at a pizza restaurant for 5 years. Okay, we'll hire you. Okay, give me your resume. So I gave him a resume. Yeah. And then that was a Friday. He called me Saturday. I was hired Saturday. I started work on Monday. My first check was like the very first, like barely made rent, because I think I owed him like $300 for a deposit, security deposit, and then $500 for rent. So my first check was $800. And then the second I got it, went all to rent. And like, dude. And then I would just bring John pizzas, or working on music. I'd just bring you pizzas, and
we'd record as many vocals as we could, and then I would just mix and master it all day while Chris was. Dude, he'd go to work, and then his roommates would come in, and I'd do songs with his roommates. Sharp. Yeah, we were charging people to do songs. Like, we had so many people coming in there.
Yeah, it was like a good time. That was a good time.
He'd come home, and there'd be like 10 people in his rooms. Like,
yeah, we would just be chilling, dude. It was a good time. Like I said, it was a good time, and we had less worries. I guess now, having a new car and a new house and running a restaurant, bills and responsibilities. It's just the bills is like, and I don't want to make that as an excuse, because it's not. It's just there's a lot of things that, like, because we used to be all the time in the studio. Last time I recorded a song was we did half a song on my birthday. That was like 3 weeks ago. So it's like we need to get, just like I said, have a set regimen, like a set schedule. Monday music. Wednesday podcast, like,
hey, Solomon's got the studio.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He does have a studio. I
Coming back, forgot. Solomon.
I totally forgot. There's a studio. Hey, that's a hidden secret, guys. If they watch this long,
we're cutting that podcast, out. No. Only our studio.
We're almost to 59 minutes of this podcast. If they make it this far in the episode, they deserve to know that secret. Like.
Under the stairs, there's a secret door.
Yeah, maybe it's just a conspiracy.
It's a
or
conspiracy.
Maybe we're just lying about the studio.
There's a secret door under the stairs.
Guys. Forget what John said. The music and the sounds will make you forget. That was a Mandela effect. That's not what really he said.
It's like in Willy Wonka. You have to go play a little whistle, and then the door opens up under the stairs.
No, John, that's Zelda, John.
Plays a little whistle, and it opens.
Where's the corn at a time? The little whistle. John. Yeah, no, definitely. Dude, there's a lot of things we got to do, but studio is our main thing. And you know what? We're never giving up. You know why? You saw those old guys that are like 80 years old rapping. They're on tour.
Oh God, Pete Baz or whatever.
Dude, yeah, Pete and Baz. These guys are like 78, and they're on tour in like.
They're like gangster
Europe.
rappers, bro.
They're like gangster rappers, old men that are like just now got on. Like Chris Brown reposted them, and now they're like super famous. They're touring Europe right now, and they're like 79, and they've been rapping for like 90 years straight. And I was like, dude, like, how is that even possible? So we can get on there. It's never too late to be great. Remember that. It's never too late to be great. Simple as that. One last downpour as our closing, and we are off like a prom dress.
You want to do another shot?
Yeah. One last shot. In closing, we appreciate everybody that's staying tuned for all of our episodes. This is episode 8. Got a couple guests coming soon, so stay tuned. And yeah,
we might do a Halloween episode.
We might. This is technically kind of our Halloween episode, but I still got to figure out what I want to be for Halloween. And you got to get the costumes soon because, dude, they sell out quick. They sell out right away. So we got to get that soon. All right. And cheers to our last downpour. Yes.
It's time for the last downpour.
Cheers.
Have a good one, guys.
Thank you guys. Kapeash, we signing out. Downpour. Holla.